so we can bring Mara up to speed.
All right.
She was new last week.
You're good.
Okay, we're good? We're good? I'm so glad to be back. The last month has been mashugana, as my friend Beth would say for me. I almost have like metahuman health. Normally, I never get sick. I never have COVID. I've had like 3 colds in 6 years. But the whole month of April, I was just down with this horrendous case of viral bronchitis. So many of you saw me on the live stream several times last month, totally unexpectedly, because I was too sick to leave the house, and Erica was smart enough to like Zoom teach the class. But today I'm well. So hi again. I'm the actual Jessica Lewis. I'm myself today, and I'm the founder of a company called Sculpt Your Life. And I am here every week at the Cancer Support Community. We technically only live stream usually on the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month, but because last week I wasn't well enough to do it, so we're doing it today. Anyway, if you are a cancer thriver, I like to say that instead of survivor, because it's more about living your best life, not just getting through it, right? You are welcome to come here and be in class, or a caregiver for someone who's dealing with cancer. You're welcome to come here and be in the class live with all these lovely people that you can't see. There's a whole room full of people here, and they're really awesome. However, as many of you who come in week after week after week, and some of you aren't even involved in the cancer scene, no, I'm always here every other week on the Facebook live stream too, so you can do it that way. And Facebook has a new rule that they delete live stream videos now after I think 30 days, something like that. So thank goodness the cancer support community was always very forward thinking. And they actually download these videos onto their website. So you can catch old Facebook Lives on the Cancer Support Community website as well. And that way you can go to class with Jessica anytime you want. And so anyway, we are doing, as we do every time that we're here, Tai Chi Cha. That third word is spelled C-H-I-H and it's pronounced cha, like chuck wagon. I'm also a nutritional counselor, so I like food metaphors. But anyway, you know what? I know you guys know because you're here every week. They might not know. How many of you know that 99.99999% of the time when someone says Tai Chi, they may not even know they're doing it, but they're using a nickname. Did you know that? Yeah. The phrase Tai Chi is actually an umbrella term because it's generally the phrase that we use when we're referring to the full family of Tai Chi practices. And if you were to go to the Eastern continent, you'd probably have access to like 50 different kinds of Tai Chi. But in America, you pretty much can only find really good Tai Chi instructors from about 10 different traditions, including Tai Chi Chuan, right? So the full name that people often are referring to unknowingly when they say Tai Chi is Tai Chi Chuan. And if you translate that into English, what you get is Supreme Ultimate Fist. You can tell right there that most of the time when you're talking about Tai Chi, you're talking about a slow-mo martial art, which is awesome, right? But it's still a martial art. So here's my perspective on all that. There's a lot of hard things in the world, including people coming at you with a sword or jumping out at you from behind a rock or something, right? In my opinion, Tai Chi doesn't have to be one of them. And that's just one of the 10 billion reasons why I like Tai Chi Cha better than all the other styles of Tai Chi Chuan, and I'm actually familiar with a number of them. Here's why. If you translate the phrase Tai Chi Cha into English, what you get is knowledge of the supreme ultimate. And you can tell right there that Tai Chi Cha is actually the only Tai Chi practice that's been qualified by many of our leading medical authorities and research in the Tai Chi field, I should say, as nothing other than a moving mindfulness practice. So you get movement, you get sort of low level exercise, and you get mindfulness all wrapped up into one. I think it's the best bang for your buck there is. And it's especially good if you're dealing with cancer. It's good for any chronic condition, either mental or physical, but it's especially good if you're dealing with cancer for lots of reasons, including actual cancer-related issues. Anyway, so last week we had a brand new person in the room. And what I did was I brought her up to speed on the first half of the practice. There's only 20 moves in the whole practice. Um, and so this week, in deference to her, because she's here again, we're going to do the second half of the practice. So last week we did 10 moves. This week we're going to do 10 more. And that way everybody in the class, many of whom have been coming for years and years and years, we're all going to be on the same page going forward. It's going to be great. And for you guys, it's going to be awesome because a lot of times when I'm here, I don't have time to do the full practice because sometimes I have some slightly newer people along with some older people. And I kind of bring people up to speed. I don't always get through all 20 moves, and that's no big deal, by the way. Another thing I love about Tai Chi Chuan is you don't have to do all 20, and you don't even have to do them in order. But for you guys, what you're going to notice is we're doing more of a deep dive into the second half of the practice, which some people say is the slightly more complex part. So it's good, right? So why don't we just begin by doing a little mindfulness here in the chair. I think what we're also going to do is do some of the movements seated because for many people it kind of informs the standing practice. And that way also, if you don't feel well enough to stand up today, you'll know how to do the whole day in your chair. It'll be fine. But first, let's just get oriented in the chair and really check in with our bodies. So now if you're kind of leaning back against the chair, I want you to at least scooch a little forward. But the most important thing is, I really like your shoes, Jess. You have to tell me the brand after. I really like them. I think I want them. Anyway, I love barefoot shoes. They're just the best. You can like walk on rocks and not hurt yourself, and you feel like you're really barefoot. Anyway, so you're just going to scooch a little bit forward, but the most important thing is I want you to find the sweet spot for your upper body. There is a spot for everybody's body where the upper body can be totally upright, right? But you don't have to use any belly or core muscles or back muscles for that to occur, okay? And if you want, if you feel safe doing so here in the chair, you don't think you're going to fall out of the chair, you can go ahead and close your eyes for this part. Sometimes it's easier to check in with your inner landscape when there's less information coming in through your eyeballs. Right, so find the spot where your whole upper body almost feels like it's just sort of sitting right on top of your sit bones. You probably feel your sit bones pushing down to the chair. But remember, your sit bones are just at the bottom of what I always call the pelvic bowl. It's like a whole bowl down there. Your pelvis is a bowl. And the upper body is just sort of sitting in the bowl, kind of like a column. And if this just isn't working for you, this might help. This next trick might help. Just sort of imagine your head rather than this big important thing full of heavy thoughts and brains, right? Just imagine your head is a balloon that's lost a little bit of its helium. So it's just kind of floating there. It's not floating up and away. It's just kind of floating right at head level. It's just floating. And see if that helps your whole upper body kind of lighten up. See if you can visualize your spine is just sort of like the balloon string. Just let it hang down from your head and see if that helps. And if they aren't already, just sort of put your knees kind of in front of your hips and just sort of put your feet under your knees. So we're sort of shaped like a chair now. And just put your hands on your legs, just rest them there. And since we're all sitting, let's each pick a spot anywhere between the belly button and the knees. Somewhere inside the body. I want you to dial your attention into that spot. Just look at any spot you choose, somewhere inside there with your mind's eye. And I'm going to ring my singing bowl 3 times. The Buddhist would say, I'm going to call the bell. And your whole job until I call you back is just to notice anything you happen to notice mentally about this spot. And if your mind wanders, there's nothing in the world wrong with that or with you. That's normal. That's just what minds do. And let's begin. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the room. I left you out there for a while because I was really enjoying it. I had such a busy morning. I really kind of like being quiet there for a minute. All right. So just put a pin in your experience that you just had because we're going to do it at the end of class too. And maybe you'll notice that you feel differently than you did just now. And maybe you won't. Either way, it'll be fine. By the way, there's no such thing as bad Tai Chi chat. It's all good and it just keeps getting gooder. And also, I'm that kind of teacher. There's nothing in the world, people can't do anything wrong in my class. So even worrying about whether or not you're doing anything I'm about to show you today right is too much work. Because we always say the best way to do Tai Chi Chuan is with the effort of no effort. So you got all kinds of downright anti-American things going on in here. It's the greatest class ever. So normally we start with rocking motion and bird flaps and swings. They're generally considered the 2 warm-up moves. But you know what? We're not going to do that today. We're going to just go right into the side-to-side moves. What? Thank God. I was saying, thank God. Like, yeah, a lot of people say that rocking motion's like the hardest move of all. Why it's the first. I wish Justin were alive today so I could just say, dude, why did you put the hardest move at the very beginning? But y'all, we all exercise, right? Yeah. So warming up is usually the hardest part of your exercise, right? Because you go from nothing to something like that, right? That's why I think it's so hard. Anyway, we're going to go right to the side to sides because what we learned last week was for our new person, just like every other American I've ever met, it's so easy to do too much. We're so accustomed to being told, you gotta work harder, that it's hard to do the effort of no effort. It's hard. So the forward back moves can often aggravate someone's back when they don't realize how little effort they actually have to put into it. We're going to go right into the side to sides because they're hard to overdo in the chair. There's only so far you can rotate from side to side in the chair, before it becomes obviously very hard. And then you're not doing the effort of no effort. Okay. So the only move we didn't do in the first half of the practice last week was carry the ball to the side. So we're going to start with that one. So here we are right in the chair, exactly the same position we were in for our mindfulness experience. You just sort of put your knees in front of your hips, and sort of put your feet under your knees and just put your hands right here. And again, find the sweet spot for your upper body where it's not doing anything to be there. All right, just feel that. Feel what it feels like to be really at rest in your chair. Okay. And now what we're going to play around with is turning what I like to call the balloon string part of your body, from here to here. So from sit bones to collarbones only. Your eyes and nose are going to stay facing forward. So especially for those of you that are directly in front of me, if you lose sight of me, you have turned your head and your eyes and nose are not facing forward anymore. Okay? For those of you who are on the side, you have to sort of look a little bit to the side to see me, but in general, if your view of me changes a lot, you have turned your head. So just turn this part of your body. We're just going to rotate it from side to side like a column. And I'm going to mirror you because I'm facing you. So let's all rotate that part of the body to your right. Yeah. And you can only go so far, right? Before you like fall over out of the chair. Can you feel that? This isn't aggravating your back, right? Good. All right. So now how you're going to know that you did what I just asked you to do is your left shoulder and your left knee and your left hand are going to come forward a little. Did that happen? Yeah. And your right shoulder and right hip are going to go a little bit back. Is that what happened? Good. Now take your hands and put them together like you're going to pray. And then stick them together directly in front of your belly button. Actually touch your belly button with the heels of your hands and look down. And do you see how it's off to an angle? Good. You turned the balloon string part of your body, but your eyes are still on me there, right? Good. So now we're just gonna, just leave your hands here. It'll help you know whether or not you're turning. We're gonna turn the balloon string part of the body to your left. Yeah. And then we're gonna come back towards your right. And back to your left. Good. So each time you turn, depending on how mobile you are, your belly goes about 45 degrees to one side and then about 45 degrees to the other. So altogether, it's about a 90-degree arc. But you don't have to be precise about it. I'm just giving you information. Good. But let's keep doing. Make sure your eyes and nose are facing me because it's very important. Are you okay? Are you feeling like, yeah, it is a little warm. Yeah. Do we have AC in here? Oh, let's do windows. Yeah, because there's a breeze. Is that okay? Let's find out. Yeah. And actually stick the heels of your hands, stick them against your belly. That way you'll know you're not moving your arms. You'll know that where your belly button goes, that's where your hands are going. Okay. That's good, Jess. Is that better? It was still in here. Yeah. If you get lightheaded, let us know. Maybe you need some water too. Dehydration can really mess with your level of consciousness. All right. Thanks, Jess. Good. So we're just going side to side. And this is how you do all the side to side movements from your collarbones to your sit bones. Right? Now check in with your sit bones. Because for me, I feel the weight in my sit bones kind of shimmy. Oh, thank you. Thank you, dear. That's great. She brought us some water. Nice cold water. I feel the weight in my sit bones kind of shimming from side to side. Are you okay, Katie? Good. I can't really describe it. I can't really language it. But I feel like I'm shifting more weight into one sit bone and out of the other, and then they change. Do you feel that? I can't really tell you which one. Do you kind of feel that? Yeah, good. All right, so let's all turn towards your right. Good. And then, pardon me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But when you turn towards your right your right knee will go back and your left knee will go forward. Yeah. But I want you to know, like, if I drew if there was a pane of glass up here touching this shoulder and it was right in front of me, Notice that there's a hole right here where my shoulder used to be, right? We're going to put the hands there on your right side in the hole where your shoulder used to be. Yes, good. And then we're going to carry the ball to the side. How are we going to make the ball? You just kind of relax your wrists as your elbows open. And then as your body turns to your left, it carries the ball across the bottom for you. And then you just sort of flip your wrists up as your elbows bend a little bit. And then as you turn back to your right, it carries the ball across the top. Do you feel that? You see how easy that is? There really is no such thing as the effort of no effort, because even thinking about effort is effort, you know. But I think this is about the closest you can get to it. I'm going to shut up now. Cricket's eyes are closed. That usually is a sign that she's trying to get very chill. So I'm going to shut up. Let's do this 9 times. This was 3. And just smooth out the edges. Because another way to get to effortlessness is to go very softly and slowly and smoothly and circularly. So even if you're not moving exactly the way I am, as long as you move the way I move, you're going to be healthier when you walk out of here today than you were when you walked in. That's a guarantee. I think that was 6, but I often don't count well, so don't quote me. Let's call this 7. Nice. Here's 8. And on the 9th one, when we get back to the middle, we're just going to let the hands rest. And suddenly we're right back where we started. Easy, right? It's so easy. It really is the effort of no effort. Now let's go back again, but this time we're going to do it the traditional way. We usually do carry the ball to the side in 3 sets of 3. Okay? So let your belly button, let the balloon string part of your body turn towards your left. And you, Kathleen, you feel how this part of the body all went backwards? Yes. Yes. And there used to be a shoulder here, so that's where you're going to put your hands. But eyes on me. Ah, gotcha. Good. So let's carry the ball to your right now. We're going to do it 3 times. Here's 1. Good. The reason why we don't turn our heads is because there's no bad guy or no sword coming at us from over there, right? This isn't martial. And it's easier to learn by looking at me anyway. I think this is 3. So when we get to the top, we're just going to rest. Nice. That's one reason why Tai Chi is generally considered so much easier to learn than all the other styles of Tai Chi, because you get to watch the teacher more thoroughly because you're not worried about the bad guy coming at you from both directions. Okay. Let's do it again. Same wind up on your left side. 3 circles. 1. Nice. 2. Here's the 3rd one. And we're going to rest. Good. Really feel the difference between moving and not moving. Little mindfulness built into this move too. All right, we're going to do the 3rd set of 3. Beginning on your left. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to rest. Nice. Then why don't we do that same move standing, but we're only going to do 1 set of 3 each direction. And if you don't want to stand, don't. Okay? But I just want you to know how to do it standing if you want to do it standing. Okay? So first we're going to stand. You're going to put your feet in a little bit of a V shape though this time, rather than a number 11, which is the shape they're in when you're sitting. Right? You know, unless this doesn't feel good. If this doesn't feel good, do whatever you want. But generally speaking, we like to have our heels a little closer than our toes. That's good. And now just adjust your tailbone any way that you have to so that your knees suddenly slide a little bit forward because I really want you to feel both your feet as much on the ground as you did when you were sitting. Okay, let's just feel us standing people. Let's feel how grounded we are from the hips down right now. Just feel that. You seated people, you're already very grounded because you're sitting in the chair. All right, so we're going to start again on your right. We're going to shift all the weight into the right leg first, and then we're going to turn the balloon string of the body to the right. Good. And so for me, I feel like my butt cheek is going backwards there. Good. And remember, there's a hole over here where the shoulder used to be. You're going to put your hands there. And now I'm hoping that your left leg feels really empty. So all you do is just extend the left knee and the heel will drop down wherever it wants to go. It doesn't have to be as far apart as my feet because I have longer legs than everybody in the room. Okay. So here we go. We're just going to let the wrists relax and let the elbows begin to drop. And then we're going to shift the weight. Yes. And we're going to come back. But see if you can let the weight shift do most of the ball carrying for you. Can you feel that? Good. And on the third one, as your left leg fills up, all you have to do is stand up on it. That's it. And then we just float back down to earth. That's good. Let's do the other side. Let all the weight fall into your left leg and turn that part of your body there. Up go the hands, out goes the heel. And here we go. Let the shifting of your body do most of the ball carrying now. That was one. Two. God, I love those shoes. I gotta have them. Three. And we're gonna rest. Nice. Very good. While we're on the subject, let's do passing clouds. Same exact move that we just did, only instead of the hands being together, they're gonna move separately and independently. Okay? All right, so if you want to do it seated, you know what to do. From the hip bones up, it's going to be exactly the same as what I'm showing you here. If you're doing it standing with me though, let all the weight flow into your left leg first and let the balloon string part of the body turn to the left or rotate left. Up goes the left hand. Let your empty right heel get out there. And as you shift that direction, it's going to pull the left hand. And on the way back, the right hand is going to come in. It's like the shadow of the cloud on top, right? See if you can let your weight shift do most of the cloud moving here. You know what I mean? This move is called passing clouds. And I definitely like to think of the hand on the bottom as the shadow of the hand on top. So make sure that you're moving very evenly with both arms. Good. And on either end, the hands just change places. You feel it all happening right here and then right here. It's like while you're getting ready to change directions on the right side, your hands change directions. Let's do two more sets. Good adjustment on your feet, Jess. Here's the last one. And as we flow back the direction we came from, we're just going to stand up on that left foot. And there we are, just resting. We're just feeling the body not moving. And then we rest. How was that? Did you feel any pain? Awesome. Good. I think there's certain moves that once you do them in the chair, you know how not to overdo them when you're standing. But don't make yourself stand up if you don't like to, because now you know how to do it. Yeah. Okay, so I'll tell you what. Let's switch gears completely. We're going to do light at the top of the head, light at the temple, seated, because that'll remind those of us who haven't been here in a while how to do forward backward moves in a chair. And then we'll do the first half seated, we'll do the second half standing. And then we'll do joyous breath standing. And then we'll go right into all the other side to side moves. Okay. All right. So just a memory cue about how you move forward, back in your chair, because light at the top of the head, light at the temple, and joyous breath. When you're doing them seated, they're more forward back moves than up and down moves. When you're standing, they feel more up and downy, but in reality, they're forward back too. Okay. So just sit in your chair the same way we have been to rest all along. And don't do anything with your upper body. Just let it kind of float forward and back. But all I want you to do is feel the weight in your butt shift closer to the front of your butt. What you're really doing is kind of rolling forward on the sit bone. It's like here you are in your chair, right? And then you just sort of roll a little bit towards the front of your sit bones, and the whole upper body just goes with you. Let's do that together. We're going forward. And now we're going to let the weight in the butt shift towards the back of the butt. And let's go forward and back a couple times at your pace. And just really focus on the weight shifting from the back to the front of your butt or from the front to the back of your butt. Now, if you're kind of body conscious, you might notice when you go forward, your belly gets bellier, it gets rounder. And when you go back, it flattens out a little bit. And just see if you notice that's true. I'm going to put my hands in front of my belly button again. On the way back, you see how my fingers tip up a little bit? And on the way forward, they kind of tip a little bit down. And then back up again. Bellier is the technical term, right? The bellier. That's a very technical term. I make up words all the time. Americans are very good at making up new words. Yeah, good. So what's really happening is your groin is kind of tipping down a little bit when you go forward. And then it kind of tips back up again when you go back. So the belly gets bellier because this part of your body gets longer, right? And you might also notice that your low back gets a little curvier when you move forward and a little flatter when you move back. But I don't want you to make that happen because that's too much work, right? If you notice that it's happening, that's fine. But if you're making it happen, don't make it. All right, so light at the top of the head, light at the temple. All we're going to do is scoop up a little energy and let the hands come all the way up to the top of your head if that feels good. If it doesn't feel good, just put them where you want. Good. And all we're going to do is shift the weight towards the back of the butt and shift it towards the front of the butt. As you feel your belly getting bellier, you're going to let your hands expand. It's like your whole body's expanding all the way up to your hands. And then as you go back, they come back. Let's go forward and expand. Let's do one more. Good. Now let's come just to neutral. The hands are going to come together and they're going to sort of, it's like you're rubbing your hands together on top of your head. You see what I'm saying? You're pulling your energy up and out of the top of your head is what you're really doing. And now you're going to hold for about the same length of time as you sort of rubbed your hands together. And now you're going to shift towards the back. There's the contraction. Here's the expansion. And here it is again. And on the third one, the hands are going to do a little circle thing. And you're going to kind of fold the energy up into your chest and then just come to rest. That's good. So this move has two parts. That was the first part. Let's do the second part standing if you want. All right. So here we are resting. Good. And we're just going to scoop up a little energy and bring it up to your temples. Good. And then just shift towards the back of your feet. So you're going to feel your toes get a little light, but you're going to feel yourself sinking down. Do you feel that shift? Good. And then you're going to shift to the balls and toes of your feet and you're going to lengthen your knees and your whole body's going to expand. That's it. Let's do that two more times. And once more. Good. Now in neutral, you're going to just, it's like you're messing up your hair. I think of it as you're distracting the monkey in your mind right here at about the height of your temples. And now we're going to hold. I always like to notice how quiet it is between my hands. And it's hot between them too. They get hot. And let's do that shift towards the heels and then expand as you move towards the front of the feet. That's it. So you feel how it's kind of up and down, even though it's really forward back too. Here's the big circle. And you kind of fold the energy up into yourself and then you rest. That's it. Good. Did you feel how it was sort of up and down and sort of front to back too? It's a combo. All right, we're going to do joyous breath. So what we're going to do, if you're standing, you're just going to step out a little bit with your left foot and we're going to turn the toes forward. If you're sitting, they're already forward anyway. Good. Now, this one is one of the there's only 2 of the 20 Tai Chi moves that have a very clear prescription for how to breathe. This is one of them. So for joyous breath, the way you do the breath, the special breath, is it's kind of like you take your glasses off and you want to clean them and you go like this, and then you rub them, right? So it's the thing, but with your lips closed. So you probably can't hear me doing it, but this is what it sounds like. Did you hear it? I probably heard it louder than you did. So you kind of, it's in the back of your throat and you hear it in your head. So that's the breath we're going to use as every time we exhale in this move. So we're going to start by exhaling all the air out of the lungs as we kind of sink down and using that special breath. Here we go. And then we're going to scoop up some energy. Just let your elbows bend as you come to the front of your feet and inhale. And we're going to turn the hands over and we're going to do the special breath as we press down in sort of 4 sections. So here we go. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. This is definitely up and down, but can you feel how it's sort of a little front to back too? Good. And then we're just going to bring the left foot back to the right and just feel the body resting. That's it. That's it. That's good. All right, let's sit down one more time. I'm going to show you how to do pulling taffy in the chair. And once we know how to do pulling taffy in the chair, there's 3 more variations of pulling taffy. And you can do them either in the chair or standing. I'm going to stand after I do pulling taffy in the chair a couple times. I'm going to do it standing. You can choose how you want to do it. So remember when we did both carry the ball to the side and 6 healing and passing clouds, we just let this part of the body just rotate from side to side, right? So that's the same thing that we're going to do for the taffies, okay? Let's just remember how to do it. You can put your hands together like you're going to pray. This part of your hand, the heel of your hand, stick them, actually touch your belly button with them, okay? And just let that middle part of your body turn towards your right, and you'll notice how your left shoulder popped out. Did you see how that happened? Yeah. So that's a signal to this part of your arm to just do that. Okay, go ahead and do that. So your left arm, the lower arm that's attached to the shoulder that's sticking out, this is how you're always going to know which arm goes where, is the one that goes across your belly at about the height of your belly button. Okay? And the other one just sneaks up on top. It's like the mirror image of the hand below. It's like yin and yang. You see how they're the same? And the hands are sort of generally kind of near the elbows. They don't have to be exactly on top of the elbows. They're sort of near the elbows. That's good. And then when you turn towards your left, that's what's going to pull the hands apart. Nice. So this hand just does this, like I'm passing a tray of cookies. This hand actually slides down and grounds you. So you end up sort of pressing the heel of the hand down towards the ground. Yeah. So rather than I wonder if you can see me, Katie. Rather than your fingers hanging down, it's like you're pushing your hand down, your heel of the hand down to the ground. That's it. Good. Awesome. So that's how you end it, and then you come back to rest in the middle. Now let's do the other side. We're going to turn to your left. So of course your right arm is on the bottom and the other one is on top. You got it. Good. And pull taffy. Good. Let's do a couple more like that. And then we rest in the middle. This move also has a lot of mindfulness built into it. We move and then we rest. And then we move and then we rest. Nice. So just notice the difference between how your body feels when you move and how it feels when you don't move. Nice. Let's do one more seat. Let's do one more set in the chair. Good. Let's rest. Here we go. And let's rest. Good. That's really good. Really good. Okay, I'll tell you what. I'm going to stand up. Let's do one more set of regular taffy with me facing you, and then I'm going to turn around and we'll all be going the same direction. Sometimes people find that it's hard when I mirror. Okay. All right. So if we were going to do it standing, we start in the rest position if you're standing, with your heels a little closer to your toes. If you're sitting, don't worry about your feet. They just stay put. Okay. To get everything set up on your right, all you do is you shift, and turn the body the same way you did for carry the ball to the side. And you just put your hands here the same way you did in the chair, and out goes your empty heel. And then you let the weight shift kind of pull your hands apart. And then you just stand up on that filled up leg. Good. And let's do it on the other side. You guys are doing great pulling taffy in the chair. You really got it. Now I'm going to turn around so we're all going the same direction. Let's do one more set. Because once you know how to pull taffy, you really know how to do all the other moves, all the other variations. Nice. And just feel your body resting. Any questions? Are we good? Okay, we're going to do variation number 1, anchor taffy. This one's a little bit like the cha-cha. We go forward and we go back, and then we go to the side. And we go forward and we go back, and then we go to the side. So it starts like regular taffy. And if you're in your chair, you know how to do that. Now, don't do anything with your feet if you're in your chair, but if you're standing, you're going to let your empty foot go forward first, and since your belly is turned, the front toe is turned too. Now, if you're seated, you're just going to shift a little bit towards the front, and then you're going to come right back and come to rest. And now we're going to do taffy just like we normally do, either seated or standing, from the right to the left. And now we're going to do the forward backward part. It's just a slight shift forward and a very easy return. And let's shift back to the right. We normally do 3 sets. Let's just do 2 for time's sake. A little bit forward, right back to where we started from, and from the right to the left. And then a little bit forward and back. Then pull taffy from the left to the right. Nice. Ah, and just feel your body resting. Good. Now we're going to do the second variation of pulling taffy. Many people just call it wrist circle taffy. If you're in the chair, it's so easy. It's just a slight backward shift and a slight forward shift, and you let all that kind of move your fingers around. Okay? So I'm going to do it standing. Just copy my fingers. Okay? If you're seated, just shift slightly back and let your fingers drop. And as you shift slightly forward, you're going to let them come forward. Let's do that again. And now you're just going to begin that process, but then you're going to change your mind and pull taffy from your right to your left. Again. And pull taffy from your left to your right. We're only going to do 2 sets today. And we're going to rest. Nice. Very good. Okay. I'm going to show you how to do the third variation of taffy. Many people call it just perpetual motion taffy in the chair first, and I'm also going to do it standing. So we'll do maybe 6 sets, both standing and seated, to save a little time. Okay, so here we are resting, just like we do between all the moves. Right? We're going to start it on your right, just like we do all the tappies. Good. Go ahead and put your arms together the way you normally would if you were going to flow from your right to your left. Now follow me. Okay? Watch my arms. As you begin to turn and the top hand slides down, when you get just a little bit past the middle, the hand that was on top slides under and the other hand slides on top. Does that make sense? Yeah. All right. Now we're going to go from side to side. We're going to try to go as continuously and smoothly as we can. All right. Here we go. That's why it's called perpetual. Here we go. And if you get confused, so what? Remember, I'm that kind of teacher. You can't screw up with me. In fact, if you start to get very upset about what you're doing, I guarantee you it's going to get worse. So just relax. It's all good. And it just keeps getting gooder. And in the end, it's more important how you move than exactly what body part you're moving where. Way more important. Let's do 2 more sets. And last one. So yeah, the knees are kind of going forward and back in a very rhythmic, even way. Yeah. And we're going to rest. I never noticed that, how the knees just do this. It's almost like you're on one of those. Yeah. What was the name of that old aerobic equipment that where you? It was like a ski machine. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, the Nordic track. Yes. You remember the Nordic track? You did this, and your feet just slid forward and back, right? That's exactly what you're used to in perpetual motion, very evenly, right? I never noticed that till like 6 months ago. I've been teaching for a long time, right? There's always something new in Tai Chi Chuan. If you get very relaxed, you always notice something new. It's amazing. You know, a friend of mine said this recently, and it really is the thing. She says Tai Chi is about an inch wide, but it's about a mile deep. And that's really true. Lisa's like a poet. She should write. She should write books. She's great. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to show you how to do it standing. You just do it in the chair if you want. If you want to stand, that's fine, but don't worry about it. It's exactly what you just did, only it's bigger because my feet are farther apart. That's all. So here we go. We're going to start on the right, and somewhere in the middle, the hands just change places. And the coolest thing of all is I wait until every ounce of my weight is right over my left foot, and then the right foot just leaves the ground for a moment. And then it happens on this side too. I'm actually not picking up my right foot. It kind of just levitates for a moment. And then as soon as I start heading back towards my left, it just goes right back down. We're going to do one more set. And right here, we're going to rest. Nice. Very nice. Okay. Let's sit in the chair one more time. I'm going to have to scooch up a little bit or else I'm going to whack my knuckles on the window frame. We're going to do working the pulley a little bit in the chair, and then we're going to do standing if you want. If not, do it in the chair. I love teaching working the pulley in the chair first because people tend to really over dramatize working the pulley when they do it standing, and the chair will truncate your movement. It will only let you go so far. And if you do it in a chair first and then stand up, you'll get much closer to the effort of no effort. Okay, so let's do it in the chair. All right, so just feel your body at rest the same way we normally do. And just for argument's sake, take your left foot and just move it slightly forward. It's going to help you remember which foot goes where when you're standing. It's just a metaphor. And then because your left foot is the forward one, you're just going to bend your left elbow and the fingers will come right up to about the height of your left shoulder. Okay? And just turn your whole right forearm over. Now, before we go anywhere, I want you to just notice how the upper hand, your left hand, the fingertips are about the height of your shoulder, and the lower arm, your right arm, is kind of parallel to your leg. Okay, that's important because in a moment they're going to switch, but they're going to be in the same shapes that you see right now. Okay, so again, you really checked in with your belly button a couple times during today's practice. I want you to let it turn towards your right, and don't do much. I just want you to just turn the balloon string part of your body to the right and just notice how your left arm naturally came a little forward and your right elbow naturally went a little back. Did you feel that? You might have to scooch a little bit closer to the front of your chair because the back of my chair is about to get in my way. Okay. All right. Now the front hand, you don't turn your eyes or anything. I want you to look right at me. All you got to do with the front hand is drop it down and turn it over. Now look, both hands are in the same positions, right? And with the back hand, you just semicircle it so it just comes up to your shoulder. Good. Now you're going to let the balloon string part of your body turn towards your left, okay? And just see how it moved your right arm out in front and your left elbow back, yeah? So we're just going to switch positions of the hands. That's it. All right, so now we're going to let it fly. We're going to do like 3 sets on each side. 1, 1, 2, good. 2. It's like swimming, but without worrying about drowning. 3. It's definitely the effort of no or less effort than swimming. And when you get back to about the middle, whichever arm is lower is probably your left. We're just going to let it catch up with the top arm, and we're going to rest. It's so easy, right? It's definitely closer to the effort of no effort than a lot of things, right? So let's do the other side. We're going to do 3 on this side. So oh gosh, we're going to run out of time. So we're going to do all but one move on this half of the practice. We'll have to do 6 healing sounds first next time. I know, I know. Put your right foot a little bit out there and just, yeah, good. Turn your left hand over. Good. Let's do 3. 1, 2, 3. And when you get back to the middle, let the lower arm catch up with your upper one. Nice. All right, so I'm going to stand up. You don't have to. And I'm going to face away from you. I'm getting my chair out of the way because my foot is going to get out there. It's going to get tangled up in the chair. So here we are resting. And if you want to do it standing, come on with me. But if you don't, just do it in the chair again. We're letting all the weight sink into the right foot so the left foot can get out there. And don't even worry about the forward back weight shift. That's kind of intuitive. But I want you to do exactly the same thing you did in your body a minute ago from here up. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do 6 on this side. Normally we do 9. This is 4. Here's the last one. And when you move back to where you came from, you're just going to let everything kind of catch up and sink down. Now let's do the other side. Here we go. I'm with you, Kathleen. It's probably my favorite move too. Yeah. It feels good even if you don't know how to do it. It's one of those moves that everybody likes. Let's do one more. And we don't really have time, so I'm not going to teach it, but let's do 6 healing sounds. I'm just going to stay standing and facing away from you because it'll be easier for you to follow me if we're all going the same direction. And if you're seated, just do exactly what I'm doing from here up. Okay? All right. So, and don't worry about the sounds. I'll do them for everybody. Here we go. I'm going really slow so you can keep up. Don't worry about your feet. For you, it's only from the hips up. So you get lots of practice with these moves. We have lots of repetitions. That's another reason why it's so easy to learn. Now we're going to sweep back and forth. This part's just like perpetual motion tapping. From the hip bones down. One more. And we're going to rest. And the last move in the practice is actually not a move, it's a pose. So for y'all who are seated, you're not going to do anything that I'm about to do from here down. All right? Just wait a minute. I'll tell you when you can chime in. Here we go. For standing people only, there's this. And then we all let our arms rise up. There's a sweet spot where it doesn't feel like work. So find that. Your fingertips actually overlap, and the left hand is the one that's closer to you than the right. And you can either look at your fingers or you can look at what's beyond them. Or if you're really jazzy, you can do both at the same time. It's very different perspective, I'll tell you what. And then we're going to rest. Now let's go back to our seated mindfulness practice and just see if you feel the same inside that you did when we did it at the beginning. So find your sweet spot where it's not hard to sit in the chair. Find the effortless place. Close your eyes if you feel safe doing so. Let your mind's eye settle on something inside your body, anywhere between your belly button and your knees. And let's go ahead and call the bell. Here we go. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the room. I'm sorry I ran over by 3 minutes. Uh, so I won't talk long. I'm Jessica Lewis. The name of my company is Sculpt Your Life. Just Google it, spell it any way you want. I guarantee on the first thing is going to pop up if you want to learn more. And I'm going to turn off the live stream. And then if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Bye.